Hello and welcome to a new episode of Baseball Night. I'm your host, Tom Brown, joined as always by my brother, Jack. It is Friday, March 29th. We usually do this Thursday, couldn't link up on Thursday, so this works out because it's the day after opening day, Jack. What? It's it's like Christmas and July 4th.
It is. I mean, I texted you yesterday and said, pretty terrific sports day with the start of the Sweet 16 and opening day all being lumped in together. But man, is it just fun to watch professional baseball all day long? It's the best. Although, if I could have a word with MLB baseball, maybe throw on a day game at 1 p.m. as your opener.
I was wondering with the Mets and Braves, I think it's Braves Phillies. I wonder
Yep.
they got rained out, so I wonder if one of them was scheduled.
Oh, I thought they were at
Um,
three. But
they
either
might have
way,
been.
I mean, it was great. The first person I saw throw a baseball in America this opening day was Corbin Burns, and then he had himself an outing for the Orioles. But yeah, it's really great. I just had so much fun watching every team I watched yesterday was fun. I mean, I didn't have a bad time watching one single game. Cole Reagan's got beat up a little bit, but hey, you know what are you gonna do?
Uh, so we'll get into opening day, but since you brought up that Orioles Angels game, describe Mike Trout's career in one game. First inning, hits a homer off of Corbin Burns, who is absolutely dominant, and the Angels lose, I think, 11-3. It's like,
Yeah.
save this man. I honestly, at this point, wouldn't care if he goes to a boring team. Like, like the Phillies or one of these teams that is like, we're going to spend, we're going to contend. The Dodgers obviously would be like, okay, this is ridiculous. But even the Mets, someone that's going to hang around until the end of September, at least.
Yeah. Maybe the
He
Red
must,
Sox.
maybe oh God, what he would do to the Green Monster, which is now behind me for those watching on
Uh,
YouTube. I'm podcasting with Jose Offerman and Troy O'Leary. Uh, but let's talk about the Red Sox because that's our squad, that's our bread and butter. We can start here, and that is they didn't sign Jordan Montgomery. He signed a 1 year, $25 million deal with the Diamondbacks, but has a vested option. If he makes 10 starts, it turns into a player option for a second year, which can make it go to 50 or 51 million.
yeah. Um, I'm gonna tell you what, no surprise there that they didn't sign Jordan Montgomery. Um, I don't know why people thought they were gonna sign him. And then there was some reporting that came out from, oh boy, I'm trying to find it. I should have had this pulled up. Um, by oh god, his Twitter name is at Boss Sports Gordo.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
I
I've,
God, I
I'm
wish I knew
familiar
his
with
name.
him.
I wish I knew your name.
I think it's
Jordan
Gordon.
Montgomery, I would imagine. Jordan Montgomery never preferred to come to Boston because he wanted to join a winning team, per John Heyman. Furthermore, his wife is transferring to Vanderbilt, so her presence in Boston this winter didn't play much of a factor in his decision. Tom, if we could just take a time travel, we could hop in our DeLorean and just go back to when Shohei Ohtani was in the air going to Toronto. Do
Yeah.
baseball writers check any sources before they throw this shit out into the world that gets reported on and gets regurgitated, only to have
I
it come back to be like, you're all wrong?
I think it's such a culture of wanting to be first that you take the first, you're like, I trust the source, I'm going with it, not being like, let me check with his agent. Like, hey, I'm hearing that Jordan Montgomery would prefer to go to Boston because where his wife is a resident or interning, whatever she's doing, and have the agent say, Scott Boras say, or a spokesman, no, that's not entirely true. And then just don't go with it.
I don't understand it. The reporting all throughout spring training was Jordan Montgomery is going to be would prefer the Red Sox. He's their number one guy. The Red Sox prefer Jordan Montgomery. Jordan Montgomery wants to play for Boston, and none of that was true. If any reporter just said, "Hey, Jordan, do you want to play for the Red Sox?" No, I'd like to be on a team with a chance to win a World Series. Oh, well, that's definitely not the Red Sox. It's so
Yeah.
like it makes me want to tune out of Reddit and Twitter and all of that crap where it's just like reported. All right, that doesn't mean anything.
No, it
Shohei
doesn't.
Ohtani is reportedly, all right, that doesn't mean a thing.
Yep, I completely agree. It's basically let the news. I want the all caps official colon, and then I'll read it.
Let me give you a hint. Let me give you just a tip for anybody who can hear my voice right now. If you want to know if something in baseball is happening or not happening, go to @Jeff Passan and read his Twitter feed, because that's the only person who gives a shit about being correct in his reporting.
Oh, who's the Fine Sand is he's good too. He gets legit. But you got to watch out for Heyman and Morosi. No shots at them. It's just Arson Judge did not end up on the Giants, and he went with it.
And Shohei Ohtani was not in a plane.
Was that Heyman too?
That was Morosi.
Oh, so yeah, you just wait till it says official. But people want the news and whatever. But so he's not coming to the Red Sox, and the Red Sox. I don't know. The Red Sox, in my opinion, have a young number one stud. He may not be, Cole, Burns, Strider, Zach Wheeler. He's
I
not on
mean, you
their
could just
level.
say a traditional number one starter.
Yeah, but he's 25 and he could get there. 2 years. You don't hit your peak until 26, 27.
Yeah, he's only 24. But
Well, there
I
you go.
mean, he is the start he had last night, with the exception of one hanging pitch, was very good. Although I will say
I
though
don't even know
that
if it was hanging. I think it was a good piece of hitting by Mitch Haniger.
I thought it was just a hanging slider that he left up, or a cutter that just didn't move enough and was right up in the zone. But yeah, Mitch Haniger got a huge ovation in Seattle. So here's my one concern, and this is something, Tom, I've said before, and it really, really worries me going forward with Brian Bayo. He does not have leave him at the plate stuff. He pitches to contact,
Yeah.
and sometimes that contact relies on a much improved infield and outfield catching the ball, but still a little below league average, in my opinion. Maybe with the exception of Trevor Story and Rafaela in center, because he just goes and gets the ball.
Yes. One thing, and goes to what you were saying about Breslow and Andrew Bailey and their philosophy. Eno Saris had his bold predictions article on The Athletic, and he noted one of his bold predictions was the Red Sox would have a top, let me get the number right, 5 American League rotation. Sometimes sometimes you're bold. You gotta be bold. And
I'm glad he had the foresight to label it as a bold prediction instead of just
yeah.
a prediction.
No, I even listened to a podcast where it was like, remember, these are bold.
That's like the bold predictions on NFL game day morning, where they're just like, Lamar Jackson's going to run and throw for over 500 yards today.
Yeah. So he noted, and this is the kind of stuff I like. This is just one thing where I'm like drinking the optimism Kool-Aid from opening day. Feel free to pop over to neverwords.com. We might be putting more articles up there. And he said last year hitters slugged what's the number? 0-7 against his four-seam fastball.
This
So
is Brian Bayo.
yeah, this spring, do you know what Brian Bayo did? He threw
Hopefully,
one
I was.
four-seam fastball the entire spring. One.
Yeah.
And you know what? Yes, do that.
Yeah.
You hear about this with all the good, smart, contending teams, Dodgers, Astros, Yankees. They figure out what the pitcher does well, and then they scrap the shitty stuff.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, and I like that too. I mean, I'd like to see more before we go ahead and say this guy's a certified number one. You know what? You know what yesterday felt like, Tom? And it was
Go ahead.
good to win. Um, it felt like years ago when Clay Buchholz started a game in Philadelphia, looked pretty good, and John Henry right after said, "Oh, I think we have our ace," to the media in a um, you know, sneering, looking down your nose. You guys are all wrong. You don't know how to build a team way. And that's what this smacks of. Like, oh, we have an ace because he went 5 innings in the opener in Seattle and gave up a 2-run homer. It's not enough for me. And I like Bayo.
Sure.
Like head
Sure.
and shoulders above everybody else not even in the rotation on the pitching staff.
Yeah. I'm just saying if they're changing their philosophy to be like last night, the world is just a great place with these baseball internet sites. Baseball Savant. Last year, Bayo threw the sinker 36% of the time, changeup 23. He threw his fat four-seamer that got slugged 607 20% of the time. Last night, he threw a sinker, changeup, and slider. That was it. He did not throw a cutter or a four-seamer, which he threw last year. I'm just saying, if they're coming in and trying to be smarter, I'll take that. They still need the talent.
That's exactly
But
right.
having that philosophy and just being smarter, this is kind of how I feel about like what the Patriots are trying to do, but I think they're going to realize they had kind of a smart, savvy person that they've just completely thrown under a pickup truck. They're just changing their philosophy, and I like it. Patriots wise, might not.
Well, I think that baseball is more of an analytical philosophy game
Sure.
rather than football, which requires a good plan and an amazing amount of talent. So,
Something pitching staff and the whole Patriots roster is lacking.
yeah. So that would be my thing is that as good as the plan is, which I like, it's great. There is not enough talent there. And although they won last night on a great opening day and it's fun to have baseball back, nothing that I saw outside of Rafael Devers is getting me excited to watch 161 more Red Sox games.
Yeah, I mean Devers is enough to get me there. But I know what you've said this on the podcast. There's a lot of people who now I have no baggage with. So
Yeah.
give me Rafaela. Give me who played second last night? Abreu? No.
Pablo Reyes.
Pablo Reyes. I mean, that's gonna be Vaughn Grissom. That's what I'm excited for. Duran, we talked about this last year. He totally won the Boston fans back after asking the reporters if they've ever tried to catch a ball at Twilight. It is difficult. It's difficult in beer league softball, never mind major league baseball, but you just can't say that to reporters.
Yeah.
And you didn't hustle after it. But
Not their job to catch the ball.
Exactly. Their job is actually to ask you about it. Uh, and then report something false. So there's just guys where I'm like, I'll watch it because Jaron Duran might be 70 feet down the third baseline, not steal home.
He had a Devers fouled off a fastball last night, and or excuse me, Duran had attempted to steal, and he was 85 feet down the baseline when the ball was fouled off. Like, yeah, he runs like, I'm stealing this line from Ted Lasso, but he runs like he's angry at the ground. Like, it's
Yeah.
insane.
Uh, yeah. So I heard someone say he runs like Isaiah Pacheco. It's just like
That's
reckless abandon.
that's a good comp.
Um, yeah. So the Red Sox won. Devers hit just took a 95-mile-an-hour fastball to left center field. You know, a lefty pulling a breaking ball is like the sexiest thing to see.
Mhm.
But when a lefty takes a fastball the opposite way, it's awesome.
So I will say that I agree 100%. And one of the things that I'm is at the end when Casas started to get really hot last year, he was hitting bombs to left center field. He hit a home run in San Francisco to left center field that went like over 450 and was like 12 or 15 rows back in left center field. And if you can teach that kind of discipline to stay through a fastball like that and take it the other way, it's why David Ortiz is in the Hall of Fame because he learned how to hit it off the beautiful green wall behind you. He just that and once you change your approach as a left-handed hitter that way, it just helps so much with being on the ball. And Casas started to do it last year, and Devers was hot all spring, and it just translated into early power. And to be quite honest, the only chance this team has is scoring a ton of runs each game, and a hot Devers early in the season is going to do so much for that.
Specifically to that Casas home run. If you watch the replay, he hits a home run. Dave O'Brien makes his call, and then it kind of settles down. And Will Middlebrooks just goes, wow.
Yeah.
Just because of where he hit it. That stadium has that marine layer that the ball doesn't fly unless you're Barry Bonds.
Yeah. Only
And
one person has ever made it look small there.
yeah, Cody Ross. Um, the the team's offense, we've said this, will not be the issue. I think
No.
they'll get on base and score runs.
They're definitely going to get on base. I think the whole approach to hitting is patiently waiting. But yeah, there's still like their offense won't be a problem, but there are holes there. Like we don't know how Rafael is going to turn out. We don't really know what Wilyer Abreu and Valdez will do when they get regular roles. In Pablo Reyes, I mean, he was there last year, but I mean, again, it's just there's holes in the infield, and like I know he hits high in the lineup. I'm not I'm not 100% told offensively on Trevor Story. I mean, I love watching him play defense. It's a
Yeah, great defender.
legitimately a breath of fresh air to watch a ball bounding to shortstop, and you know it's going to be caught and the runner's going to be thrown out.
I
Um,
felt that way with play Tyler O'Neill had semi leaping at the wall yesterday.
I was I know exactly what ball you're
And
talking
I
about.
was
Yep.
like, oh, that was nice. We shouldn't. Verdugo had a legitimate case for Gold Glove in right field last year. So,
Yeah.
but
No, he was
it's
a good
just,
fielder. I was
yeah.
surprised O'Neill played left instead of right.
You
Or
mean right
excuse me, I
instead of left?
played right instead of left. Yeah, I thought he was going to play left. Um, and who knows? I don't know. I was surprised by that because I thought for sure Duran would be the right fielder at Fenway, and maybe he still will. But yeah, that was kind of crazy to me.
Mm. Yeah, I guess it didn't even like click. I was just kind of I'm excited for baseball mode in how did the Celtics lose two to the Hawks at about 10 o'clock? I
They
was,
clinched the 1 seed.
yeah. Well, I
The way
still
did
got,
you? I mean, we're going off script here, but did you see Joe Mazzulla after that? Granted, I'm
yeah, when
not.
he was like, you're not going to say we couldn't defend DeJounte Murray, right?
Well,
That
not only
clip?
that, but when he said, "Why did you switch Porzingis on him?" and he was like, "We were practicing reps, getting 1 through 5
Yeah,
switches."
I
And
read
so
that
to
this
me,
morning.
that just like they are not competing in these games right now. They are using them as like full court runs and trying to get ready for the playoffs and stay healthy. I am totally undeterred by any game result from now until April 15th.
Sure, and I agree with that. My one thing is, let's stop doing ISOs. Can we, they ran a play and it worked at the
And
end.
JB
At
scored.
the,
I
all right, back to
also,
baseball.
yeah. Sorry, everybody.
Uh, so they, it's a big win. It's Core's first opening day win. He's 1-5, which is crazy to think.
No shit. That is
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, when you
It
don't have a
seems like that
legitimate
2000
starter.
it seems like that 2018 team won 155 games, so it's weird to say
Yeah.
they lost the first one.
Uh, and then the weird little tidbit that Tyler O'Neill has now hit a home run in 5 straight opening days.
Yeah, I've petitioned both the Red Sox and Major League Baseball on my Twitter this morning to do whatever they have to rename him Ticeps. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
a nickname that flows, Tom. It's just a nickname. Look at him. Guy's jacked.
Yeah.
Name starts with a TY. Come on, writes itself. But yeah, good for him. Like he was pumped too. For a second when he hit the home run, I was like, man, he's fist pumping around the bases. What the hell? And then I then I like logged into what was happening because I think it was the first pitch back from commercial. So like the announcers weren't set yet, and
Well,
it was
no,
like he was like,
Jemai Webster was about to do a report. If you
oh,
listen,
okay,
and he was like, let's go behind the number. And then everyone was quiet and they didn't flip over to O'Brien and Yuke's mic yet.
until like he was around second base, and then he had hit 5 straight opening day home runs, which is just crazy.
Yeah. It's so weird. What a weird.
Yeah. It's a weird record. Um, I'm so interested to see how Fenway Sports Group ties that into a giveaway or a promotion, just to have something to market against. Because I want to tell you what, when we get into May here, I don't know. I don't know about last night. It just scared me. Because I'm
No,
gonna
I
tell you
think,
what, Joely Rodriguez came in that game, and I was like, oh right.
okay, here's a question for you. This is a fact when Tyler O'Neill hit that home run, I said there may be a weirder home run streak fact with the Red Sox. And I just Googled it, and there is.
All right,
No, it's
hold
not a
on.
quiz. I want to ask you what's
Oh,
stranger. So Tyler O'Neill, 5 straight home runs on opening day,
not
or
really a
Jason
Red Sox thing.
Varitek. True. Jason Varitek hit a home run on May 20th for 5 straight years.
That's way more random.
And in
That
those
is
games,
that is way more random. You are
2001,
charged up. You are charged up for opening day. Like it's something you prepare all spring for. A May
true.
20th game. He was a switch hitting catcher who was platoon. I mean, he caught all the time, but he was platooned. Like obviously you need a day off. The fact that he was in the lineup every May 20th for 5 years in a row and then hit a home run is absolutely bonkers. That
Not
is
just that,
crazy.
Jack. 2001 at Kansas City, 4 for 4 with 3 home runs, 7 RBI. 0-2 at home against the White Sox, 3 for 3 double home run. 0-3 against the Yankees, 1 for 3 with a home run. 0-4 at Tampa Bay, 2 for 4 home run. 0-5 at home against Atlanta, 2 for 4 double and a home run. What was May 20th to Jason Varitek?
I
That's
don't know, man.
that's bonkers.
That is, I didn't know that. That is crazy. And it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So I mean, like you said, I didn't even think Jolie Rodriguez was gonna make the team,
Mm,
and
he
he
did.
did and instantly let up a home run. But
Bomb too.
here we are again. Chris Martin, Kenley Jansen, nails.
Yeah, they were both good. I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. I fell asleep and have not seen. I didn't see Chris Martin's inning. I saw Kenley Jansen's inning. The last thing I did see was Tyler O'Neill break that record, and then I must have fallen asleep. And then this morning I
I
watched the ninth.
I go by the Red Sox pitching philosophy, and when they're on the West Coast, just 5 innings. You're getting
Yeah,
5 innings out of me. But
that is.
luckily,
You did say that to me. I just wanted to get through five, and I said that's exactly what Cora said to Bayo. Just give us five.
I was up at who knows because of a 10-month-old. So I just popped it right back on.
Hmm.
Didn't check my phone. It's the life of the West Coast. It's
Yeah,
awful.
unfortunately, we have like 10 more games to start the season out there.
Yeah, at least we'll just be like whatever, but they don't go back, I don't think, do you? Well, they probably go back at some point.
I would imagine they do, but yeah, it's gonna be the first they're not home until April 9th. That's another 2 weeks.
Yeah. Wow, that's
Or a
so
week,
long.
just a week and a half, I guess.
Well, you'll be there.
I sure will.
So we can move on for just like to bounce around best stories and things that happened.
But Will,
Oh, go ahead.
just one thing I do want to touch on with Devers hitting that home run. Um, and I know this is nothing new to anybody who's ever listened to this podcast before.
Hmm.
I love watching Tristan Casas hit. I love watching him take an at bat. I love watching him wait until 13 seconds on the clock to get back in the box. He has a routine every time. I just he's a lot of fun to watch play baseball. And I think the growth that you've seen since the middle of May last year to right now is incredible.
Yep. And he, I saw a stat, the only time someone 23 or younger had a second half OPS higher than him for the Red Sox was Ted Williams.
I've said it before, I say it again. If you start getting compared to Ted Williams, you're doing something right. Because if you have a free second, log on to Baseball Reference and look at Ted Williams' Baseball Reference page. It is mind numbing, the numbers he put up.
Ted Williams, I know this one off the top of my head, had a 488 on base percentage. Essentially, there's a 50% chance that man was reaching first base every time it got on. He stepped to the plate. That's
It's
insane.
incredible.
It's always good when you just tie him in to a podcast.
Opening day, you got Teddy Ball game there. I don't know about that red seat though, Ted. But
Mm, mm. This there is one conspiracy this podcast wants to get to the bottom of. It's that.
yeah. Yep.
I don't know. That man in the straw hat was lying about where his seat was.
Yeah, he sure was. Or maybe
Something's
the
up.
bullpen wasn't there. Something wasn't happening there.
All right. The league was just on fire yesterday.
Yep. Started with the
Starting
bang,
with
like you said. Yep.
Yeah. Oh God, Mike Trout hit it out. It's if you watch the replay, he hit it and he kind of put his head down. I think he was like, "Fuck, I just missed it." And then the way the camera showed it and the announcers were announcing it, it just looked like it was going to be caught at the warning track or just before, and it kept going and going. And Cedric
It
Mullins jumped up on the wall, and it was like, "Holy shit!"
it looked like it had like a golfer's fade to it because it was like more to left field when the camera started tracking it, and then it went out kind of in center field that Mullins would have to jump for it. But it just had like a perfect fade. And I mean, how better off do you start your official opening day than a top of the first home run by Mike Trout after two absolutely dominating strikeouts by Corbin Burns.
Yeah. I if Mike Trout gets 550 at bats this year, he'll have like an 800 or higher OPS, and he'll be like a 6 WAR player, I bet. He's still that
100,
good.
100%. 100%.
I honestly,
I
my non-Red Sox hope for the year is that he gets to his 400th home run, because he should have gotten to it last year, but he got hurt.
I would say my non-Red Sox hope is that he just stays healthy the entire year.
Yeah, which coincides with, I think, just a healthy Mike Trout gets the 35 more home runs.
Yeah. That's all he needs. He'll be up around if he has a full year, he'll be up around 45. 40,
It's
45
just
homers.
the per 62 stats on him, if he stayed healthy, are just ridiculous. So then Nationals, Reds. These are just, I'm looking at the scoreboards. There's Nick Martini, 2 home runs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it was, you know, the announcers were having a great time with his second home run, because someone was like, one of them said, "Oh, and it's just at 5 o'clock. It's happy hour."
That's nice.
Really
That's
using
great.
wordplay there.
Yeah, the first home run they said I watched the recap this morning and it was the first home run of 24 belongs to 23. So,
There you go.
great job by the Reds announce crew.
Yep. So
Go ahead,
the
go right down again next, and we'll talk about
Giants
just
Padres, just a good game. It was when I was watching it on Big Inning, they had Don Orsillo, which I will say every podcast is the best.
I had the recap on this morning. MLB TV does recap rewind in the morning, which is a 45-minute no highlights or anything like that. It's just game recaps from the biggest things. It's great. And we were eating breakfast and I had it on in the other room and I said to my family this morning, "Hey, Don Orsillo,"
Yeah.
because his voice just cuts through me and I love it so.
Dodgers. Mookie and Freddie Freeman hit home runs. Shohei Ohtani got thrown out trying to stretch a double into a triple. Probably
Yeah,
had
but I mean, he was
Ohtani
2 for 3.
over under half a triple. He
Wow.
probably put that money down. Uh, that was
Is
a
this where we
joke.
at? Is this where we're at now, Tom? Is this where we're at? Where we're just gonna see? This is what I was talking about. Goldschmidt hit a homer too. What I was talking about is now it's impossible to bring up Shohei Ohtani and not have a joke or something with the gambling shit.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Which is
He's
I
innocent, but
know, come on, but it's such a bummer. I
yeah.
just want to watch the best dude to play baseball ever possibly play baseball. And now I don't know. I hope he got that 4.5 million stolen, but I'm going to tell you what. I also don't want to see that translator go to jail for stealing 4.5 million dollars. If he did it, he needs to, but if this is him falling on a sword, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah. It get I know nothing about the legal system and all that. Would be fishy if it's investigated, and all of a sudden Ipe just ends up in Japan and no one hears from him. Because I don't think they'd extradite him from Japan. So who knows? But it really seems like the bookie is the one that they're really after. So more on that from your reporters
Well, at least Tisha
that we
Thompson seems like she's a real reporter.
no, I know. I was just harking back to what we were talking about. Your Blue Jays smoked the Rays. Vladdy, was he
Mm-hmm.
your MVP pick?
He sure was.
He hit a monster bomb.
Yeah, he did.
George
450 feet.
Springer. Yeah. So
My Blue
Springer
Jays
and
beat your Rays. Just tell you the truth.
Gavin Biggio. Yeah, and it looked good for the Rays. Yandy Diaz led off the season with a homer. And then this is one thing I talked about um in the preview, and I know it's one game, you can it can be overblown, But Zach Eflin, why are you their ace? I know McClanahan's hurt and Shane Baz is hurt, but like
Well,
people are
that's
talking
why,
about
Tom.
Eflin, but they were like, well, they're not going to skip a beat because they have Eflin. I was thinking, those numbers don't look great.
I mean, you saw my power rankings. I don't think the Tampa Bay Rays even cracked the top 15. I just
There you
don't. I
go.
just don't see it there.
Power rankings
Here's the thing: is
TBP to be published.
I don't think I can't see it, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if they're in the 85 to 90 win category. Like it's just one of those things that somehow happens.
Yeah, they're a weird team. Moving on, the Twins beat the Royals. Royce Lewis, one of Jack's fantasy baseball picks, is just when he plays, he's Roy Hobbs. He just hits home runs off of light towers, and then he got hurt, which
He
I
got
missed the
hurt.
report, and I thought it was
Yeah,
Mike
you said it
Trout,
was Mike
and I was like
Trout.
crestfallen. And it sucks for Royce Lewis, but I have my priorities.
So, I mean, it honestly, this is Lewis's quote about that. It honestly just felt like a little cramp and it just tightened up as you're running. And obviously, that's where you see the hindrance of me trying to score. Honestly, the first thing in my mind was like, dang, the score should be 3-1. So he's optimistic that it shouldn't be a giant injury. Although when he got off the field, it looked like it was a huge injury.
Mm.
So hoping for the best there because I think he's a straight up MVP candidate on a team that has a very clear path to win their division. But yeah, he pulled up super lame on that.
Cole Reagans. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna freak out about pitchers doing poor
He only
after
gave up
one
one
game.
run. He only
Yeah,
gave up one run. And he struck out 9.
a solo homer. When I was in college, someone on our team gave up a solo homer, and then another pitcher was like, good. Best way to give up a run. Solo homer, it's over. He runs around, you're back to pitching. You don't have to labor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true.
Absolutely.
Detroit at the White Sox, Tariq Skubal absolutely dominated. 1-0.
Yeah, so did Garrett Crochet, though.
Yeah.
I mean, his first major league start. And get this, Garrett Crochet and all those people out there, they have a gigantic left-hander that they brought up, watching his innings in the bullpen, letting him develop. Now he's ready. Now he's your opening day starter, and he's a flame-throwing left-hander who looked absolutely nasty against the division rival. That's just good pitching and player development there. I love it.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. You just when your guys are ready, throw them out there. You wonder why Jackson Holiday. I know why he's not on the roster until probably May 25th when they get an additional year of control. Like if he came up later in April, I think because he has 0 service time. If he came up in April, they'd get the additional year, but at May 25th, they get like 2 years. So all of a sudden, his chase rate and his whatever he needs to work on will be magically improved on May 25th. That's
And he'll be in prime. He'll have 4.5 months to focus on winning that Rookie of the Year.
exactly. Pirates at Marlins. Game went to extra innings, and O'Neal Cruz hits lasers. He hit an opposite field home run at one of the hardest stadiums to hit home runs at.
Clear the deck, cannonball coming is probably
That's up there.
the best home run call currently in the major leagues.
Jackie.
Clear. Go ahead.
Are you sure it is better than Welcome to Slam Diego?
But that's only on a grand slam.
But it's a home run call.
Yeah, I get it. All right.
Or you
So
have
there's
entered the
competition.
Crone zone.
There's competition at the top. Well, I hope CJ Cron hits got home
Oh
runs.
no, that's what Orsillo says for Cronenworth.
Oh, okay.
Orsillo, you can't beat him.
No. I will say though, on that clear the deck cannonball coming, clear the deck for a cruise missile when O'Neill
Mm,
Cruz hits one.
see, there you go. That's fantastic. So much
It's
better
just
than
great stuff.
anything John Sterling has ever come up with. Speaking of them, Juan Soto guns down
Yeah,
a
your boy,
runner at the plate.
MVP, MVP winning games his first game out for the Yankees.
Guy just talk about an approach. He just does not give a shit. Just walk me, he says.
Yeah,
Two
put it in the zone
walks.
and he'll hit it.
Yeah.
RBI single.
God, he is so good.
Yep, he
Uh
sure
they
is.
the Yankees were down 4-0, came back and won. Cubs Rangers was the ESPN primetime game. It was a good game, 4 to
It was great. Yeah,
walk off for the Rangers. Both teams scored in the
yeah. It
ninth.
was Jonah Heim after he muffed that ball that he said was I guess he thought that it was a swing that hit his glove. Either way, he kind of hesitated and a run scored from second. And then he got up, he righted the ship with a walk-off hit. Um, so before the season started, we picked our rookie of the year, and I believe you picked Wyatt Langford.
Yeah.
So I knew he was breaking the club with breaking spring with the club. I didn't know that he was going to bat behind Adolis Garcia in the fifth spot in his major league debut.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, but it's fantastic for my choice.
That is, he's 22. He spent 4 months in professional baseball, and now he's in the major leagues. That is some Chris Sale, Steven Strasburg stuff right there.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe you don't even know the answer to this because I don't think I do either. Chris Sale is the only guy to get drafted and debut in the same year, right?
Didn't that just happen again recently?
It may have.
Drafted,
David Price. Did David Price do it?
drafted and debut. Hmm. Let's see. Sorry for the silence. I'm trying to look. Is this saying? Hold on.
Dead air.
Dead air. Dead air. I don't know.
Either way, Wyatt Langford, good on you.
Yeah. We'll get back to you. They showed a stat. Oh, here we go. Players who went directly straight from the MLB draft or straight from MLB draft to the show. And we have Garrett Crochet,
There you go.
Mike Leake. That's who I was thinking. Mike Leake spent 0 days in the minors. Xavier Nady. Wow. Ariel Prieto. Darren Dreifert. And now we're just getting to guys. John Olerud. They were talking about him last night. Jim Abbott. Wow. That's interesting because they took a real chance on him to begin with. No, he had one hand and they were like, you don't need the minors?
To sell those
Ballsy.
tickets, man.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to it. Good game. Your boy got hurt, Justin Steele. Shane Bieber destroyed the quadruple A's.
The
Just
Oakland, I'm
dominant.
going to say it. I'm going to say it, Tom. The Oakland Pathetics.
Oh, see, now we're it might be opening day, but you'd think it was June, mid-season
We're in
form here.
midseason form. Yeah.
And then just the Diamondbacks had a 14-run third inning against the Rockies.
Yeah, I mean, to be quite honest, the Rockies, Athletics, and spoiler alert, and Nationals were three of my bottom four teams in the power rankings, and they managed all of 2 runs yesterday. or excuse me, 3 runs.
I set up my stat head stream finder yesterday and I clicked teams to ignore for Nationals. I don't think I did that Rockies and the Athletics because I don't know. Maybe I'll undo it because I don't want to like miss Spencer Strider's pitching against the Nationals or something. Because that might just be like a 16 strikeout game.
Yeah, I mean, I think until Dylan Cruz gets there, you're not missing shit.
Yeah. But they're just those they yeah, those are some not so exciting teams. And for the listeners, don't worry, we're not going to go through every game every week. This is just what you do after opening day.
Yeah, we were rundown list today.
Yeah, because there was opening day. So Jack, we will bring back this segment. Your favorite. What are you looking forward to this weekend?
Well, I mean, Spencer Strider is pitching today. His game was postponed yesterday.
And he's facing Zach Wheeler. Just
Yeah,
inject it into my
exactly.
veins.
Exactly. That's exactly what you're looking for on an opening week. But let me see here as we get into today, some pitching matchups. I think George Kirby is just going to run over Nick Pivetta tonight. Glad that that's on at 9:40. Got a little 30-minute reprieve from last night.
Yeah, it's a weekend. They shorten
And
it for the weekends. They
well,
make it earlier for the weekends. That makes no sense.
no, it's very frustrating. Very frustrating business, all of them. But I will say Dylan Cease is going on Sunday in his first game for San Diego. Hunter Green is also on Sunday. I love Hunter Green. And then I think Yamamoto pitches again. Yeah, Yamamoto versus Lance Lynn on Sunday. Or Saturday, excuse me. So yeah, there's a bunch of good
Bobby Miller's
matchups
going
there.
tonight. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're just looking forward to watching baseball in general this weekend.
I'm going to tell you what. Let me to better answer your question, Tom. I will have MLB TV on in my home, some form or fashion, from 1:40 p.m. tonight till well after midnight.
Yeah. There you go. And then your laptop's gonna die and you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be like, oh shit, I gotta go back and watch that.
I'm just gonna watch it tomorrow. Yeah, and then I hate how they do this. MLB.com. Why does your week start on Sunday? That's when most of your games end, or most of your series ends.
That is
Uh,
interesting, yeah.
but yeah, for the weekend, I mean, all the games are the same. There's nothing crazy on Sunday though. Chris Sale's first start in Atlanta.
Mm. Well, when you're looking at that, you can just go the Cubs and Rangers are good teams.
Sure.
Yankees Astros is always good. Rays Blue Jays just it might not be pitching wise, but you still got good teams against each other.
Yeah, I
So,
listen. Like I said,
okay,
I'm very happy
I'll
that
listen.
this is back. Yesterday, it's one of those things that kind of sneaks up on you. And I have the laptop on my lap. I'm flipping between the Cubs and the Rangers and the Sweet 16 and the Celtics. And I'm just happy. I'm just a happy guy.
Yeah, I know it's March for 3 more days. Well, two if you don't count today. But April and October really are in the finals of best sports month.
Mhm.
So we're about to hit it. We're so
Yeah.
close to just being at peak time to just watch sports.
Baseball kicks off, NBA playoffs start, NFL draft. Just if you're a hockey guy, I'm sure the hockey playoffs start as well.
Yeah. Well, Jack, I will talk to you later. We're gonna call it an episode. We only have 161 more, so enjoy them.
Well,
Red
we
Sox
have
magic
less.
number is 161.
So on that, I as a programming note, and maybe we should take this offline, but are we running back guess the year?
I don't know. We can talk about that because we'll have to consult the doc to see.
Yeah, oh, I have no idea what years we did. I
Yeah,
know we've done 1950. That's about all I can tell you.
yeah. So we'll have to see that. but we can talk about it. We got our
Yeah.
planning meetings, our texts on Wednesday night. What time tomorrow? Those are our planning meetings. So we'll decide then.
All right. Well, go Red Sox.
Yeah, it's good to say that again. Bye, Jack.
Bye, Tom.